Hey guys, I'm here with our fourth episode of Kitchen Chemistry, and what we are talking about today is density. So what is density? You'll remember that we talked about this at the very beginning of the year when we were talking about matter, and density is a way that we can measure matter. It's basically how much stuff, right? How much matter there is in a certain space, in a certain volume. So if you remember, we use the formula density is equal to mass divided by volume, the little heart that's cut in half, right? So you divide mass divided by volume and you get density. So stuff can be more dense or less dense. In other words, we have more matter in a space, or we have less matter in that same amount of space. So we can use density to measure liquids, solids. We talked about Archimedes and how he used density to determine if the crowns that the king had were made of real gold or not. So that's all density. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to make a density column. And what I do some years is I make one of these in class, and we have it sitting in class. But I didn't have time to do that this year, and I wanted to do it for one of our kitchen chemistry episodes. And you can actually do this also. So what I have here is our ingredients, and I'm going to pour them into our container here. So I've taken a vase. This is just a vase. And I marked it with a dry erase marker so that I know where to fill it up to for my different layers. And I have all of my ingredients right here. And I'm going to pour them in order so that they stay separated by basically decreasing densities as I go up the vase. Now, you can use liquids for this. You can use solids for this. I'll put in a picture here of pretty much exactly what I'm going to be making today. I'm not going to be using all of the things you see in this picture because some of them I don't have. I just want to do a liquid one today, and I am going to be leaving out the milk. Because if you remember from our first episode of Kitchen Chemistry, the milk will get broken down, the fat in the milk will get broken down by our dish soap, which I'm going to be using, which is right above it in density, or it's less dense than the milk, so it's going to be above it in layers. That usually messes up my density column because it's really hard to pour, and be very careful when you're pouring. And it makes a mess every time I include the milk. So what I've done for the last few years is I've just left out the milk. And you can feel free to do that as well. You can make your own density column at home if you like. And if you only have like 3 of these ingredients, then just use those 3 and your density column will work. So you do not have to do all of these ingredients. Some of them might be harder to find than others. Like I have alcohol that has been around for a while that I put food coloring in, and it's a little old, but that's okay. And so any one of these things you can put in here. Just make sure that you do it in the correct order because that's going to make your density column look the nicest. It's going to be very nice and neat. So let's go through the ingredients that we have here, and I'm basically going to start at the bottom and work my way up, and then I will start to construct my density column. So I'm going to be using honey. It's going to be at the bottom, and then I'm going to have corn syrup. Then I'm going to have regular syrup. I just have some Hungry Jack syrup. I'm not going to include milk. Milk would be in the next column. And then I have dish soap. I have water, which I'm actually going to put some red food coloring into in a little bit. And then I have, vegetable oil. I have alcohol that I put some food coloring in. I might put a little bit more food coloring in to make it a little darker. And then I have lamp oil, okay? So let's go ahead and get started making this density column. So you'll notice here at the very bottom is the most dense layer, and then as you go up, it is less and less dense. So I have, again, honey down at the bottom, and then corn syrup. This dark one is regular syrup. You could have milk after that, but I skipped that and I did soap. Then water with red food coloring, vegetable oil, alcohol with some red and blue food coloring to make it purple, and then I have lamp oil at the very top. That is a density column. Okay, thanks for watching.